Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We're also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we complete a bracket challenge to determine the best of the 8 American whiskeys listed on Whiskey Advocate's Best Whiskeys of 2024. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Jeff Andreezy, Katie Joyce, and Tim Swyatt.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, so we're going to be talking today. There was a list put out there by Whiskey Advocate of the best whiskeys of 2024. We've plucked, there happen to be 8, which is the number that we use for bracket challenges. So when I saw the 8 best bourbons, I was like, well, okay, we'll do a bracket challenge where we'll determine what was the best out of all of those. We'll get to that after the break, though. For right now, Katie said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Katie?
Yeah, so I want to know if you all have a decision tree of sorts about travel. So do you plan out your travel a year in advance? Do you just see what comes along?
Okay.
Are there certain amounts when you feel like, no, I'm traveling too much and this is the mark that I hit? Or so what's your thought process when it comes
I like
to
this. I like this
traveling
question.
with a big home?
I'm very passionate about it. Okay. Anybody need to go first? Want to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I am a very fly by the seat of my pants person.
I can see that.
I'm always like,
What?
yes. And if you ask me to do something 6 months in advance, I'm like, hell yes. But then my life takes over and I'm like, yeah, no, maybe not making that. So Key West is an example. I'm a hotels.com girly because they let you book but cancel 48 hours in advance. So I was supposed to be going. I booked my room and then now I'm moving. So I'm like, I can't do Key West and move in this amount of time. It's not going to work. I can cancel it. Don't lose any money. And I like that. So I like to always say yes. But if something happens, I can just be like, oh, sorry, I can't go. I'm always a yes. And then I'm like, I can't go. So I show up if I can show up. And that's how I roll.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I can tell Steve does not approve of this travel method.
He hates this method.
My method, I have to be very organized with my schedule. That's the one thing in my life I got to be organized with, because if I'm not, there's stuff that will come up. There'll be things like we got to do events at the Speakeasy, or let's do a class. If there's a date open on my calendar, it will get grabbed. That I can assure you. We do a lot of charitable things too, so those come up. When can you do this? Well, I got to look at what my open dates are, so that open date will be gone. I can't just be like, we'll figure out travel as we go, because I won't have any time open. So I plan all that in advance. Our vacation schedule for 2025 is set. We've got all of it lined out all the way through December, and everything's booked. I mean, we're ready to go, and looking forward to the travel that we have lined up. There won't be any extra thrown in there because there won't be any time when I don't have something going on. So I'm forced to be organized about it, and it's not a bad thing being organized ever. So there you go.
I don't have one standard method. So we famously booked the artist and I booked our honeymoon the day of the wedding. We went to New York City.
Okay.
There's so many tools out there to be able to look for a best price fairly quickly. So sometimes we'll just a little bit of spur of the moment where we're going to go. Other things, if we're going to do a cruise, we decide, hey, we're going which islands we want to go to, and we'll start looking for the best deal and have a few months of back and forth looking at that. And one trip that we always book a year in advance is our annual fishing trip to Canada.
Mhm.
We just, we lock in if we're going to go to the same with the same outfitters, or if so a combination of both. But I'm not afraid to, 20 or 15 years ago, there used to be Delta Airlines had a special. And this was before Kayak and all these other Expedia or whatever, all these different things were around. They used to send out an email like on a Wednesday, and they would have specials to different cities, including flights, that you had to book it on Wednesday or Thursday for a Friday, Saturday, Sunday trip. I love that idea. And by the time I had no kids at home and I had some ability to freewheel, they stopped doing those because I think someone else took it over. But they were just marketing their leftover seats. And that would have been just a blast. Hey, we're going to Cleveland. I don't have any special reason to go to Cleveland, but we'll make the most of it.
Sure.
I'm okay to do that.
Okay. Go to that Christmas house. That's there. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Those are two good Cleveland things.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Look at all the things you can do.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind, it's a mistake by the lake. That's okay, though. Go in the summer.
Yeah.
Go in the summer.
I went to Cleveland once, and it was for this haunted house restaurant, and it was so bad that we didn't finish our food and got McDonald's on the way home.
McDonald's, okay.
It was so bad.
Really? Okay. Just stop at McDonald's.
I'm boycotting McDonald's right now.
Literally went for a restaurant, and it was so bad. We just were like,
McDonald's was better. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Jeff, what were you going to say? Why are you boycotting McDonald's?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I was running some errands, and it's fairly late. I'm gonna hit the drive-through. There was one car ahead of me on each of the lines.
Sure.
It took 30 minutes to get the food, and I'm thinking, well, at least it's going to be hot and fresh.
No.
Soggy, crappy fries, and I got the McRib, no onions, and it was cool. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. It was like the guy warmed it up under his arm and stuck it in the bag.
They just squeeze it out of the tube.
I'm done. I'm done at McDonald's.
And by the way, it costs more than if you would have gone to a full service sit down restaurant right there. That's the funny. Fast food is more expensive than, equivalent. I get it. If you're going to go to a steakhouse, yes, that is more than McDonald's. Yeah. But if you're going to go,
and Chili's.
You're going to go to some place like that and get a sandwich. Yeah.
No doubt.
McDonald's costs you more.
It's been $30 every time I've gone through Wendy's lately.
$30. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just wild.
Yeah, it really is.
$5.49 for a basket, a handful of fries. It's like, what?
Right. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Tim, how about you?
I'm held hostage by a 5, 10, 14-year-old freshman in high school. So my travel plans are whatever she decides with her social schedule. So soon the general and I will be done with that. We already added up how much we need to pay for school, and that's what we're budgeting for, and it's just expenses. I even just sent as of today, the middle child to Spain, Madrid, for a term. So granted, yes, he's paying for himself. This is all his birthday money and everything. He's saved for it, so he's able to do it, and the school helped him out. But I'm sitting there driving to the airport, walking through just laughing, saying, why the hell am I not getting on a plane too? Oh yeah, right. Because I've got a volleyball tournament this weekend, and I got this, that, and the other. And I got to tell you, Steve, we still talk about when the stars aligned and Team Swyatt made it to Key West last year.
Yeah.
And this year it wasn't able to happen. This year, and then I saw St. Louis Bourbon Palooza just get pushed out. I'm looking forward to that one. That one's you're getting an email from me soon, and booking our spots for that one. And my entire trip. This will be the most travel we've done ever. But it's going to be with a bunch of under 15 girls volleyball tournaments all across the country. I'm held hostage right now. But I do get my what I will say is unfortunately, the most pleasure that I get is my travel for work, because I do have that wanderlust big time. I always have to be doing something. I'd rather do a lot of driving than flying too.
Yeah.
So I sit on a couple different industry panels, this, that, and the other, and I get about 4 trips a year for sure in various different places. Yeah, it's not with family, but it's keeps me moving. Yeah, personal travel, it's coming. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to hit that we've been held back on because I've been raising kids longer than I never had kids. I'm looking forward to see what that chapter looks like. And the light's at the end of the tunnel, and it doesn't look like it's a train.
Yeah.
It's a fun ride
liberating,
once
man.
you get there.
Yeah, it is. It definitely
I think
is.
I'm not going to knock on wood for Tim with his statement of it. The light doesn't look like a train.
Yeah.
Yeah. Katie, you asked the question. How about you?
Yeah. So John and I do not have kids, and it's pretty easy to take the dog to the kennel and the cats to my parents. And so we thoroughly enjoy traveling. My typical rule, I now know that traveling every weekend out of a month is too much. So I know that that's a limit. I try to make it that we're not traveling more than every other weekend. We love our weekend trips, especially because it's so easy with work. And I've had the companion pass with Southwest for like 3 or 4 years in a row. So anywhere I fly, John flies with me for free.
Okay.
And we've had points to use. So the flight part is free. We just had to figure out, are we staying with friends? Are we going to a hotel and at other cost, which it does add up quickly. But if I'm going to have a big trip, I have to plan it out usually at least 6 months in advance to know for sure I'm going to be available because of work. It was a lot worse in private practice. It was a year out and then still it was a struggle. So it is very nice with my new government job that I can be a little more available if I want to do a trip.
Yeah.
But I love my kind of last minute weekend trips of something coming together just a few weeks ahead and getting that excitement built up to it. And so I often overschedule us. Like we were in Cancun December 19th to 23rd for a trip for my goddaughter. And then we had Christmas and then we left the 27th again for Kentucky and then we're there through New Year's. And just got home on the 1st. And I'm like, I am looking forward that I'm actually going to be home for a few weeks. I think I had overdone it.
That's when you had too much travel. Yeah, when you're like, I just want to be at home. I want to be at home.
Yep, I had a job where I was on the road 32 weeks to 35 weeks a year.
Ooh.
And that was brutal. That was about 2 years doing that in a row where it got up to that amount of travel. And when home is the place where you lay your head down, is like the hotel. And then the hotel, when they know your name, the gate attendants know your name, the bartenders know your name, something's got to change.
Yep.
I ended up having to book the same hotel room, same hotel room number at the hotels I would stay at. I requested a certain number because I would just have a host of cards in my bag, whatever. Would be just like, at least I know I'm going to room 404 or whatever it was I would decide at the time. So every time I would go to 404 and one of the keys would work. I'm like, okay, good, I'm in. Because you lose track of where you
Wow.
I have for a while, like where I had a previous job that sent me to Chicago for 6 weeks. They're like, you can go home on the weekends. It's an easy drive home. And I was like, I might as well just fucking stay. So I would stay because why drive? I would stay home. I would stay. And then I'm just like, well, I kind of just lived here for 4 weeks. That's fine. And then I was so happy to go home. But I had the time. But.
Yeah, there you go. On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'm going first. Middle West Pumpernickel Rye.
Ooh, that's a favorite in the Akeley household right now.
That is an absolute favorite. So let's see what we got here. Not much on the cork pop.
Wow.
Maybe I'll get lucky and that'll be enough. Maybe that'll be enough. We'll see. It was clean. I'll say that. All right. Katie, you look like you're ready to go. We're going to have you go next.
I have Booker's. It's the 2023-02, which is which one was this? Apprentice batch. I did not get any 2024. I wish I would have. I don't know why I didn't, but.
Okay. That's our leader. Basie. Very Basie. Very good.
Dry.
Yeah. Dry. It was just dry. All right. Jeff.
Just kidding.
So I don't know if this is what Steve had. I have Middle West Rye Dark Pumpernickel. Is it the same one?
That's the same one. Yeah.
Same one.
Okay. Ooh, that was pretty.
That was nice, but not as good as Katie's. Katie has the lead. McNew's next.
I'm gonna go some Yellowstone.
Okay. Whew.
That was good.
I think that's the lead. I think that took it over.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was like
All right.
the ideal pitch for a
Yeah.
pop.
Yeah. So McNew has the lead, but let's not forget Swyatt hasn't gone yet. So Swyatt, what do you got there? He's going to take this, I'm sure.
Oh, I love the optimism. I've got a bottle of Glens Creek Millville malt.
Okay.
All right. I'm not expecting a lot from this, so we'll see. Swyatt on the set.
Nope. McNew wins again. Cheers to McNew.
Cheers.
Ding.
All right,
Salud.
we'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's going to be Bourbon Bracket Challenge time. We haven't done one of these in a while. Should be fun. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Are you starting?
Yeah, of course. This will sound like good conversation for the show.
Jesus.
You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Making a damn bumper.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're doing a bracket challenge for Whiskey Advocate's Best Whiskeys of 2024.
Yes, we are. So here's what this looks like. Here's the contenders. Bardstown Bourbon Company, Amroot Collaboration, Heaven Hills High Rye Bourbon from the Grain to Glass series. Glain to Grass.
Glain to glass.
Glain to Grass. Booker's Springfield Batch. Wild Turkey, Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary. Bernheim Barrel Proof, specifically Batch A224. I don't like ones where you have to know batch numbers to.
No, I'm not trying to learn numbers.
It's not my thing, but
Nope.
that's how we have to play this game.
Math is hard.
Yeah, it's not our list, so we have to play it like they set it up. Angel's Envy Cast Strength Port Wine Finish. Knob Creek Cast Strength Bourbon times Rye, so the bourbon and rye combo cast strength. And then the 2XO Kiwa blend. Which is, it sounds Hawaiian, but it's not. It's like off South Carolina. It's like
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Kiwa Island?
Kiwa Island. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently Dixon Dedman likes to go there. He likes to vacation there and stuff.
That's where the golf tournament happened with Bobby Jones and it's Bagger Vance. That's the Bagger Vance movie, Legends of Bagger Vance.
Oh,
Kiwa Island is where that was filmed, where the golf course was at.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Nice. Sounds swanky. All right.
It is very nice.
Here's how it's gonna line out. Wild Turkey Jimmy 70th will take on the Bernheim A224. The Bardstown Amaret is going to take on the 2XO. Then you got the Angels Envy Cast Strength Port Wine is be taking on the Booker's Springfield Batch. Then you got the Heaven Hill High Rye Grain to Glass. And then you've got the Knob Creek Cast Strength Bourbon Rye combo. All right, up first again, Wild Turkey, the Jimmy 70th Anniversary Edition. Was taking on Bernheim A224. Up first is Jeff. Jeff, who do you like out of those two?
Yeah, the Wild Turkey, Jimmy Russell.
Jimmy Russell Wild Turkey goes up 1-0. Katie, what do you think?
The Bernheim, it is a weeded, and I've not had it, that limited series specific batch, but the descriptions I looked up did fit pretty much everything that I typically love. However,
Bernheim's a wheat whiskey, by the way.
It's a wheat whiskey.
Yeah.
It is.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
So different than if you like a wheated bourbon, you might not like this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've only had Bernheim like twice before. Like I have not had much of it. But I have had plenty of Wild Turkey, and especially everything I read about the 70th anniversary one, that's going to be my vote.
Okay, 70th anniversary goes up 2-0. Tim, what do you think?
We're going to close this out. Wild Turkey. Not a fan of Bernheim
Yeah.
at all.
I haven't been either. I haven't tried the cast strength stuff, so I don't know. Maybe.
I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and the only one I've seen where they got in that wheat whiskey right that I've been able to find has been Adam.
Yeah. Wheat whiskey is very tough to get that right. That's for
It is so tough to get it right. So tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Some reason.
Bardstown, the collaboration they did with Amaret and 2XO Kiwa blend. Who is up first? It's Katie. Katie, what do you think out of those two?
The 2XO or the... It's the Bardstown, right? So that's the Indian single malt.
Correct.
Okay. Yes. I am going with the Bardstown, that Indian single malt.
Okay.
I found it very interesting from the start. And so
Gotcha.
and different flavors in there.
All right. Tim, what do you think?
2XO, my friend. Spectacular.
2XO. Okay.
That's a spectacular product there.
All right. McNew.
So I like some stuff that 2XO does, but I don't think Bardstown does anything wrong right now. They're putting out some great collaborations, great products. I'm going to go with Bardstown.
Bardstown. A standout is this one too. I tried this one and it's fantastic. Something I went into thinking I wouldn't like because Indian whiskey follows the rules of Scotch, so it's kind of always has a Scotch taste to me. And I'm not a Scotch fan, as we know, so I don't typically like it. But I did like this a lot. But even that being said, I liked the 2XO even better. So I'm going to tie this thing up and give my vote to 2XO. So Jeff, it goes to you as the tiebreaker. The Bardstown collaboration or the 2XO?
When I was looking at these, I'm thinking this might be the toughest picks, and I wasn't definitely sure which one you were going to pair up, but these two look very interesting, and I'm going to throw it to the 2XO.
2XO. All right, 2XO moves on. All right. Next up is the Angel's Envy, the Cast Strength Port Wine Finish, and the Booker's Springfield Batch. Round number 3, Tim is up first.
I'm going to go with the Bookers.
Booker's goes up 1-0. McNew, what do you think? Booker's or Angel's Envy, Cast Strength Port Wine Finish, the normal one.
So I really do like Angels Envy, but you're not going to pick Booker's in this lineup. I think it's got to be Booker's.
Booker's, yeah.
Yep.
I'm a Booker's fan. I tend to seek these things out. Are some better than others? Absolutely. Springfield Batch, solid. I like it, so I'm going to go that, and that means it does move on in a sweep. Woohoo! All right, 4th round, Heaven Hill, the High Rye Bourbon Grain to Glass Series, And then you got the Knob Creek, the Cask Strength, the Bourbon and Rye Blend. So this is that's up in round 4. Up first is McNew.
I'm going to keep my reputation as a Heaven Hill fangirl. Going Heaven Hill.
Okay. I like both of these. This is
Checks
interesting.
can be sent to McNew at ABV.
Yeah. This one's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
So I'm going to go, my rationale is I'm going to go Knob Creek and make this a best 2 out of 3. So I'm going to cancel out McNew's vote, go the Knob Creek, means now we're looking at the best 2 out of 3 moving forward. All right. Jeff, you're next.
Jeff.
I've had both of these, and boy, I'm going to go with the Knob Creek.
Knobs.
Or the knobs. Yes.
All right. Katie,
You know where
you're
your mind's
next.
at.
Yeah. The Knobs are up 2-1.
That's right.
What do you like to do?
I typically am not a fan of this whole bourbon rye blended thing.
Okay. You
How
like Chef's collaboration?
not honestly,
Jefferson's?
no, not really.
I liked it. Oh, that was good.
I thought it was okay, but it wasn't. It
Forgiven?
disappointed me a little bit. I do think though this is so I think this one's proof to like 113, which I think is a fantastic proof for Knob Creek as well. But I think with the Heaven Hill, you can totally nerd out on their grain and glass series.
It's true.
From the corn seed varietals to the 2024, about how they even mentioned that the corn was grown across the street from the rick house. And so because I can nerd out on that part of it, I have to go with Heaven Hill.
Okay. So here's where we're at. We are knotted up here. Round number 4. That means it's going to go to Tim as the tiebreaker. The Heaven Hill High Rye, Grain to Glass Series, or the Knob Creek Bourbon Rye Blend.
I will go with the Heaven Hill, and exactly what Katie said. I appreciate the craft element of this one, of trying to be transparent, trying to try something new and innovate inside big bourbon. Somebody's screwing up a valve and mixing 2 whiskeys together. However, that was done in Knob Creek. I know that's just not what happened in Knob Creek there.
That
Yes.
is the best description I've heard for bourbon and rye. Someone screwed up a valve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Valve got screwed
It's
up.
not the story here, but I think the Heaven Hill, I like the nerd out on this one, and I've had that one too as well. It's spectacular.
Okay. All right. Next up, round number 5. Let's go through the final 4 first. It's the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary, excuse me. 2XO Kiwa. Those are going to be the first matchup in round 2 here. Then you got the Booker Springfield batch taking on that Heaven Hill High Rye Bourbon from the Grain to Glass series. I'm going to be up first, round number 5. This is a very tough one. This tugs on your heartstrings. Jimmy Russell's 70th anniversary Wild Turkey versus the 2XO Kiwa. I've had both. I like both.
What's the better whiskey?
Yeah, if we're playing
gotta
better
go
whiskey, it's going to be different than my vote of the one with Jimmy for Jimmy.
Right.
I'm voting 2XO. 2XO would be the one that I would grab. If I'm at your house and you sit down both, I'll be like, that's cool. They did that for Jimmy Russell. And then I'm grabbing the 2XO and I'm drinking that. So that's what I'm gonna go the 2XO here. Jeff, you're next.
I'm right there with you, Steve. The 2XO.
Yeah. Okay. 2XO. Katie.
I can't let the Jimmy Russell lose in a shutout, so I'm voting Wild Turkey Jimmy Russell.
I think that's
just
good.
can't. I
That's
can't.
fair. I think that's fair.
That's fair. Yep.
Well thought out. All right. Tim, you're next.
I'm going to make this thing interesting and kick this thing to McNew
No.
and let McNew make the decision
Okay.
here. I know where my heart's at. But Wild Turkey's going to get my vote for an interesting debate on this one.
Okay. So McNew, it's now in your hands. Jimmy's listening. Go ahead.
He is listening.
Don't guilt trip me. So from what I've heard about both was 70th anniversary. Okay, great, fine. I think it's more sentimental than it is tasty.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 2XO.
Yeah.
It's
The
a right
70th is solid. And you know what? It's just like Jimmy would want it to be. It's just a good drinking whiskey, but it's not spectacular, over the top, crazy. And I don't know. I think 2XO is the right call there. 2XO moves on. Round number 6, Booker's Springfield batch takes on the Heaven Hill High Rye Bourbon Grain to Glass Series. Round number 6, up first is Jeff.
I really like everything from Booker's. I love high rye bourbons. Boy, this is a fun night on these.
Yeah.
I am going with Booker's though.
Booker's goes up 1 zip. Katie.
No amount, I think, of the nerding out. I'm going to have to go with the thought process of which one am I grabbing to actually drink.
Right.
And so because of that, I'm going to have to go with that Booker's.
Booker's goes up 2 zip rather quickly. Tim, what do you think? You can close this out, or you can give life in the game. Heaven Hill, you're
No,
going?
giving life, Heaven Hill.
Heaven Hill has life in this game, McNew.
Good job.
I'm sticking with some Heaven Hill love.
Heaven Hill.
Yep. I got to cash some checks from McNew.
Heaven Hill has come back on strong, but it's going to end here as Booker's will move on with my vote. The Booker's Springfield batch moves on.
This is Jeff. You hit it. This is a good night for these.
Yeah,
It's a tough
these
one.
have been
This is
so
actually a good
close.
one. Yeah. Yeah. This is unlike most of these lists we get there that aren't good. This is actually, but it's Whiskey Advocate. They kind of know a thing or two about whiskey, actually, versus some of these things are just websites that.
Yeah.
And our voting
Never
hasn't
mind.
made Steve want to quit yet. So we're doing it.
Right.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
haven't got status yet. So.
Yeah.
Hasn't threatened to storm off the show. So
Right. All
we're
right.
okay.
So our final pick here, Katie, you're going to be first. It's
boy.
going to be the 2XO Kiwa takes on Booker's Springfield batch. Round number 7. This is it. This is for all the marbles.
Oh.
Katie, you are first.
I think it's important that either one of these, if someone sets this down in front of me, or even if I'm somewhere and a friend's got a bottle and they're like, let's make it a night, let's kill this bottle, I am going to be incredibly excited with either one of these.
Right.
Highly drinkable on both. Oh God, I'm gonna have to go with Booker's. Just I think it gets the loyalty part from me as well. So I think that's the only thing really that's pushing it over the edge, because you can't go wrong with these two, in my opinion.
Okay. Okay. Booker's goes up 1-0. What do you think, Tim?
Talking about two storied families here. This is really getting down to some folks that are pretty damn talented. I'm going with 2XO.
2XO
Got my vote.
has tied it up. It's 1-1. McNew, you're next.
Oh. Booker's.
Booker's goes up 2-1. All right. I can end this thing, or I can give 2XO life in this game. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Wow.
2XO is going to get my vote, means it goes over to Jeff.
Wow.
We've talked about how close this is. We've had 3 tiebreakers, including the finale here. So this is it. Jeff, what do you think? 2XO or Booker's Springfield batch?
Have you ever had a dead tie in these things?
No.
Hard to do that with 5, but we'll try.
Yeah.
I could split my vote.
You could abstain and be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, God dang. Everything I've had from both of these is I just love them all. And
Right.
I'm going to go with Booker's.
Booker's. That means Booker's is our champion
Woo!
and wins the episode. Very good. Very good. Still your champion, I believe, would be appropriate.
Those were good whiskeys right there.
Yeah, they were good whiskeys for sure.
For perspective, according to Whiskey Advocates, Booker's came in at 6th, and 2XO came in at 14 on their ranking.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Interesting. Who was their highest rated? Because I looked at
Their highest ranking was Bourbon, Bardstown Bourbon Company.
Okay.
The Emerald collaboration.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That was number 4 on their list. Number 5 was Heaven Hill. Grain to Glass. 6 was Booker's. And then, take it from there.
There you go.
I mean,
All right.
any of
Was
these.
this the list?
Go ahead, Katie.
Sorry, was this the list that had the Widow Jane on it? I couldn't remember.
No, this was not.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, this is a good list. Sometimes we get lists where I'm like, this is bullshit.
Right.
Any of these could have been legit winners. Like, there's not bad choice on there.
Yeah.
I mean, Bernheim, maybe we could have kicked that one off, but like none of these were bad.
Yeah. So very good. Well, there you go. Well, we're going to wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Jeff, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and the Cigar Dojo. Jeff Andreezy, 2 I's, 2 Z's, and somewhere in there's a couple of F's.
All right. He's got it down.
Got it.
He worked on it. He's got it. Yeah. Katie, how about you?
Jeff, that was brilliant. I loved it. You can find me over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
All right. Tim.
You can find me on Instagram at SwyGuy2112 and on YouTube at our flagship whiskey.
All right. McNew.
I'm on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out. Everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more, abvnetwork.com. Come by and see me. The ABV Barrel Shop. You never know what's going on. Always got cool things happening. So we are online, abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
See everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.